Okay, this is going to be a video similar to the last one. And I mean, the last three videos have all kind of been the same. These last two, I've been kind of diving in deeper on these late round startup picks, these guys that are at the end of people's benches that really they don't value for whatever reason. And the guy I'm going to be talking about today is the running back version of the guy of Jalen Hurd, the guy I talked about yesterday. Actually, but before I do this, let me say one more time, if you are interested in making videos for the Flock Film Room, obviously not a guaranteed thing. We're going to have to talk. We're going to have to figure out if we're on the same page. I'm going to have to see the kind of quality that you can produce. But shoot me a DM on Twitter. I mean, no really experience is required. I just want to be able to make sure that you know what you're talking about. I want to be able to make sure that you can produce quality content. So we'll kind of go through some sample videos and to just kind of work together. But if you're interested in doing that, make sure you shoot me a DM on Twitter at Build the Dynasty, or even do it through the YouTube channel's Twitter at Fantasy Flock Network, or just I think it's Fantasy Flock Net. But either one completely works. I'm really looking forward to talking to you guys. I made this announcement on the video that came out yesterday too, but complete transparency, I'm recording these videos back to back. So y'all are getting this 24 hours after I recorded it. Maybe I'm already in talks with a couple of y'all. That's great. And even if you don't want to contribute to the thing, if you want to see other people break down film of these 2020 draft prospects, right now we have Tyler Moss leading it. He's doing a fantastic job. Really, really love the work he's doing. Very entertaining, very fun to watch, very informative. Go down in the description of the video. There's going to be the channel link. Go there. Make sure you subscribe. There'll be videos every single day, just like this channel. And also, if you aren't subscribed to this one, make sure you do that as well. I think 60% of y'all that watch the videos aren't subscribed. Would love to change that. I think we're closing in on 1,400 subs. Maybe by the time this video comes out, we passed that mark. But, I mean, I want to be at 1,500 by March. That would be amazing. I would love if y'all can make that happen. But talked enough. Let's jump into the video. And the guy I'm going to be talking about, kind of teased him, Bryce Love. Okay, so this is very similar to the prototype of Jalen Hurd that we're targeting. And this is a guy that came into the NFL. He was a rookie last year, obviously. If you don't know the story, he was a stud at Stanford, but came in with a torn ACL, okay? So that's what's important about this running back. He's had serious injury concerns, and he comes in like he couldn't even participate in the combine, couldn't do anything just because he was injured, and we knew that he wasn't going to be able to do anything in 2019. So that's why it's so important looking at his draft capital of what the Washington Redskins spent on him. Very similar to Jalen Hurd, how I emphasized that Jalen Hurd's early round 3 draft capital meant really more than it would for another player just because he was coming in raw, and it's kind of a guy that we're looking for a ceiling and not a floor, and we know he's not going to be able to contribute day one, and the NFL teams are looking for guys who can do that. So with Bryce Love going in early round 4, I think he was maybe the 10th pick in the 4th round. That signifies that if he was completely healthy, I honestly believe that Bryce Love would have been a 2nd round NFL draft pick. And so if we're looking at his profile as if he was a 2nd round NFL draft pick, that changes everything. His evaluation is completely different than where it is now. But in reality, I think that we should be looking at somewhere in the middle, okay? I don't think he should be valued in the same range as like Darius Geis is, but I think he's a lot closer to Darius Geis than we all perceive. And now let's look at what's happened to his value as he's came into the NFL. So going into rookie drafts, I saw multiple people take Bryce Love in the 2nd round of rookie drafts, whether it is the late 2nd round or early 3rd round of maybe some Superflex leagues. Bryce Love was just, say, ballpark him around the rookie pick 210, okay? This was a year ago with us knowing that he was not going to do anything in 2019. So let's fast forward a year where if I just told you that people were drafting him in the late 2nd round knowing that they were going to have to sit on him and wait until 2020 for him to contribute to their team, you would assume, at least if you just objectively think about it and don't think about it through a market lens of what the Dynasty community does, that his value would have increased from that late 2nd round, early 3rd round evaluation, because he's the exact same player, and now he is about to be able to be used in the NFL. So everyone who drafted him just burned that pick and waited a year, and now they should be super excited for him to come back, for him to prove the talent he is, and they should be valuing him higher now than they did when they drafted him, especially because we saw that Darius Geis proved nothing in year 2. I mean, Darius Geis, he flashed, but he was on the field for what? Did he even make it a full game? I don't want to just be completely wrong. Please let me know in the comments if I'm just completely off here. But I believe Geis was back for a game, maybe 2, before he was injured again. So at this point, do we have any faith in Darius Geis going forward? I know last offseason, at the very beginning of the season, I had Tony on here. One of the original videos, one of my favorite videos that we did. And it was way, way back. If you don't know Tony, a lot of y'all should know him through group chats. Some of y'all do. Well, anyway, he was a massive Darius Geis hater, as was I. At this point, Darius Geis was going in the second round of startup drafts. And then we just completely, it was so off by so many levels. It was kind of like the Nick Chubb video I just made. We just outlined everything that was wrong with that evaluation. And everything came true. Everything that we said about Darius Geis is true. I don't think Darius Geis is an NFL running back. He's extremely, extremely talented, extremely athletic, but I mean, he's showed nothing in the NFL. He can't be relied upon. So if we're looking at the depth chart in front of Bryce Love, where a year ago, we thought that Geis would have that role locked down, and people were still drafting Bryce Love at the end of the second round. Now, Geis is kind of not an afterthought. He's not an afterthought. He's still, if we had to make a depth chart for that team, he's still RB1. But he's a lot less certain now than people thought he was a year ago. So if you're going to tell me all these things happened to the Bryce Love situation, I would say he's worth an early second round pick now, assuming you were drafting him in the late second round of last year. I know this is nowhere near where he's being valued at right now. I mean, I'll go into where I got him in this last startup draft right after I just kind of talk about what he did in college. Coming into college, he was super high pedigree. People were saying that he was better than Christian McCaffrey when they were both at Stanford. I was not one of these people. I mean, I am not a college scout, so I didn't say anything. I had no idea what was going on. I just know this was what people were saying. And obviously, we've seen what Christian McCaffrey has done in the NFL, and we can confidently, with almost 100% certainty, say Bryce Love is nowhere near the talent that Christian McCaffrey is. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it was a conversation people had, okay? Bryce Love ran for over 2,000 yards his junior year. I believe he did this in 13 games. I have it down here that it was over 150 yards a game. He ended up finishing second in Heisman voting for this year. So he was projected to come out of Stanford, which he 100% should have. This is not an original take by any means. This is just common knowledge that he made a mistake going back to school and getting injured his senior year, and his draft stock plummeted. People were talking about him as a late first round, early second round NFL draft pick after his junior year. I mean, he finished second in the Heisman voting as a running back. So this is a guy that was very, very talented at Stanford, is a great rusher of the ball. And the one thing that people had questions about him after his junior year was if he could catch the ball. Because his junior year, he had less than 10 receptions. I don't remember the exact number off my head. But I know I wrote down that he had 20 receptions his senior year in only 10 games. So his senior year, he did prove that he can be used in the passing game. I don't think that's he's not going to be strong in the passing game, but he is going to be capable, and teams aren't going to feel the need to take him out of passing situations. So we look at this player. He's just kind of a complete running back. He's talented. And what I love about getting rookie running backs on their rookie deals is we know that teams they're not going to be really looking to move on from them because they're so cheap. I mean, Washington has no incentive to do anything outside of Bryce Love for the next couple of years. So now we've kind of gone through, talked about my opinions on Bryce Love. Let me give you all some examples of where his actual dynasty value is right now. I mean, this is a startup. This is real startup too. It's not a mock draft. Mock drafts they're useful, but they're not near the importance, or like you shouldn't put the value into a mock draft ADP as a real draft. So this is a real draft right here. And keep in mind, I took Bryce Love. So maybe if I was in a different draft range and I didn't touch him, he could have fallen farther. But these are some of the players that he went after. We'll go through the running backs first. Darwin Thompson. Okay, now, when it comes to Darwin Thompson, y'all know I had Michael Risch on here at the very beginning of last offseason. And he did digging. He discovered Darwin Thompson on this channel. He announced it on this channel before really any other Dynasty podcast on the planet had. I mean, Darwin Thompson was some tiny, tiny running back from a tiny school. Nobody knew his name. We announced him first, so that should show you how much I like Darwin Thompson. But looking at the profiles of the two running backs, the situations they're in, I mean, it's silly to take Darwin Thompson in front of him, in my opinion. Then we have Lamar Miller. I mean, what are we doing here? Well, Lamar Miller, what is the most you will ever get for Lamar Miller in a Dynasty League? Say he even lands in a committee back role in 2020. One, he has no upside whatsoever. And even if he does hit his absolute upside, which is what, a low-end RB2 in 2020, what are you going to be able to trade him for? A third-round pick? Bryce Love has the upside, in my opinion, to be worth a first-round rookie pick. And honestly, I can see an easy path for that to happen. Okay, then we see Matt Breda. Matt Breda has flashed in the past. I don't necessarily hate the Matt Breda pick over Bryce Love just because we've seen Matt Breda do it in the NFL, and he's not that old, and he's also in just a cloudy situation himself. We see Taysom Hill. This was a super flex draft, so that makes it a little bit better, but Taysom Hill will never be an NFL starter. I'm sorry if you're one of the people who thinks Taysom Hill is going to be an NFL starting quarterback, but that's just not the case. I mean, we literally saw the starting quarterback on his team get injured, and they put Teddy B in there instead. I mean, I don't think Taysom Hill. I mean, he's fun. He's fun to watch. Please leave a comment and tell me why, if you think he can be a starting QB in the league, why he should be worth more than Bryce Love. Then we see Jack Doyle. Honestly, I think this is bad. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just biased against Jack Doyle, but oh my gosh, I hate Jack Doyle. I don't know why. I don't know why. I never liked Jack Doyle, but just think he's extremely untalented. He's just not the profile of the guy I like. Then we see Gus Edwards. Kind of understand it just because the situation in Baltimore, if he ever got a shot there to be the running back one, I mean, he has a ceiling. I mean, he can't really catch the ball, but he could finish as an RB2 if he's the running back one in Baltimore. Then we see Duke Johnson. Kind of understand it. I mean, Duke Johnson, we love the talent, but at this point, I see Bryce Love having a way better shot at getting opportunity in the near future than Duke Johnson. Even if people can argue Duke Johnson's a better running back, he's on a second team. Both teams decided not to give him a considerable workload. I mean, I think I would easily rather have Bryce Love there. Now, finish this off, Cole Beasley, a guy I will never own, a prototype of a player that I'll never want. You give me Bryce Love all day. Let's conclude the video. Bryce Love is a high pedigree running back, young running back with nobody really ahead of him in the depth chart that is solid and consistent. So why is he being valued here? Why have we lowered his value so much after his rookie year going into year two? Go buy Bryce Love. The same exact advice I had with Jalen Hurd. With these players that are like young and at the end of people's rosters, they're not going to want to just trade them away really for a rookie pick. I think it would mean maybe you can get Bryce Love for a third during the rookie draft, but I think you would probably just get him cheaper as if you go to the Bryce Love owner's team, construct a deal that you would like, and then throw Bryce Love in there just as an add-on, and then they're not even going to think about it, and that's a way you can get him on your roster. But really appreciate y'all making it to the end of the video. Really appreciate y'all just even being subscribed to the channel, anything. But if y'all want to do anything else for the channel, we do have a Patreon. I love talking with people on Patreon. It's just a fun thing we do, fantasy football group chat. I mean, I get opinions of what they want to hear on the channel, what kind of videos they want me to make, and it's just a great atmosphere, and you support the channel. So thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.